Hello, everyone. Are you ready to go to France after that music? Wasn't that amazing? Oh my gosh, I'm super excited. I've been to France. I love France. I want to go back. So let's we have a big show. I want to thank Ann Skinner being here from UC San Diego Retirement as our sponsor. For ambassadors, we have Victor, Ava, Brune, and Suzanne. Super Shaylee's back, and our best global sportscaster, Andreas, is with us. So please take it away, Ann, and thank you for being the sponsor of iCafé.
Sure. Thank you very much for having us and for including all of this wonderful information. Bienvenue, is that the correct way to pronounce? Good day. I am Ann Skinner, and I'm representing the UCSD Retirement Association. I am currently on the executive board. Actually, I've been on the executive board for almost 3.5 years now. Time goes really quickly. I'm a retiree from UCSD after 35 years of service. The UCSD Retirement Association, I know it's something that you don't really hear about as staff or a student, but it is a powerful little association, I have to tell you, not so little. It is the largest retirement association in the UC system. We boast close to 2,500 members, faculty and staff. The majority of our members are very interested in doing a variety of different things with their lives. Retirement is very different. For those of you who can picture what retirement might look like in a wheelchair and all of that, sitting down quietly, petting a small white dog, that's not how it is. Most of our retirees are very, very busy. They are volunteers, they're mentors, they're teachers, they're entrepreneurs, they're writers, all of these different things. And most of all, they are travelers. We all love to travel. We all have been looking forward to this time in our lives that we can travel. And it sounds like with all of the changes coming about, we will be able to get back on the road and in the planes and seeing the world. The UCSD Retirement Association provides a variety of activities to the retirees. We have to keep them busy and keep them active. It was a challenge last year, but we managed to pull through and we have a lot of participation. We offer informational lectures, tours, workshops. We have a variety of special interest groups that follow through almost on a monthly basis. We have an active book club. We have financial planning, health and safety seminars and workshops. We have tours of museums and other interesting places, not only here in San Diego, but throughout the United States. We our current specialty interest groups, like I said, include a book club, photography, genealogy, and even beginning Spanish. So, and we have some people who have dipped their toes in that as well, and it's a lot of fun. But one of the biggest accomplishments we had this year, in spite of all of the restrictions we had, we grew and developed an incredible YouTube channel where a lot of our activities have now been recorded and available on YouTube. And we've had, I'm certain by now, over 4,500 views, and we are really, really proud of that. Again, we're leading the UC system with regard to Retirement Association YouTube channel offerings, and so we're very, very proud. But one of the biggest things the Retirement Association does is, and one of the things that we're the most proud of, is our partnership with the Chancellor Scholars. We offer scholarships to Chancellor Scholars every year. We donate, our membership donates these funds to worthy students who are needy and have, of course, exhibited strong academic accomplishments, and we're extremely proud of that. We also are, of course, in close partnership with the Emeriti Association. So we keep a very close tab on UCSD and the community, not only through former staff and former faculty, but currently with our current students. We do a lot of mentoring, both with our Chancellor Scholars and with the Price students as well. We have some activities going with Price. So we start with them quite young. So very happy to be sponsoring today's trip to France. I'm so excited. Haven't been to France in about 5 years, so I'm excited to go back today. So anyway, thank you very much. And I am now going to turn it over to Victor. I believe he is our next sponsor. Take it away.
Yes, Victor is our first cultural ambassador, and it's my pleasure to introduce him. He was one of our students in the international programs a few summers ago in our 4-week program, and he was so wonderful when he was here. So he's calling from France, so I'll turn it over to Victor. Take it away.
You are wonderful too, Shiley, don't worry. So bonjour tout le monde. So I'm gonna put the slides. I'm coming. So I hope everyone can hear me. So the first question I have to ask you is, when you think about France, what comes first in your mind? So may you type it in the chat quickly, and I watch it while I'm of course, baguette, croissant. So it's an A, the last O. Okay, I see. You can stop it. So when a lot of answers were about cooking, especially pain au chocolat or croissant, we have to know that croissant, it's not truly French, but it comes from another country and it was imported in France, and then it was well known starting from France. And it's globally what's happening with a lot of French people like me. I'm a pure product of Europe, but I'm not French in the blood. Like in America, for example, France is deeply shaped by immigration. And to explain it, I show you this little slide. So that's a small prologue. So my parents were born in Romania, and they have flew the Romanian dictatorship in 1989, and they came in Lyon, and I was born in Villeurbanne, so Villeurbanne estate in the south of Lyon, if I remember well. Brune can correct me. And this is the story of plenty of French people, but also American kids. So we have a few common points together. Then, to put in a nutshell, I'm actually an engineering student aiming to be a strategy consultant. And after high school, I made a classe préparatoire aux grandes écoles. So this one is the lycée Pierre de Fermat, mine. And it was in 2017. And then at the end of my first year, I went to UCSD, sorry. So that's where I met Shiley. And that's why I'm talking to you tonight. So it's 10 p.m. in France now, so that's quite late. And now, so you can see the building of my high school. So that's a religious one. And now I'm in Marseille in engineering school, as I said. So École Centrale de Marseille. And this school is located in Provence. So my second question is, tell me in the chat, as you can read it, the images you have in your mind when you read Provence or Marseille. Quickly. Still wine. So, Joe, thanks, Brune. I won't talk about him. So bouillabaisse, boats, so food already, flowers, and Provence with lavenders. So that's quite good answers. So first, Marseille is a very, very cosmopolitan city, one of the biggest in France, and so the second in France, and located in Provence. And Provence is one of the warmest places in metropolitan France. And there are mountains till the sea, like you can see in the first picture, the mountain, the backward. And they have also one of the highest and biggest cliff of Europe, the Canaille Cape. And around Marseille, there are several wonderful villages and wonderful stuff to do and to see, like monuments, doing activities like boat, yachting, jet ski, visiting museums. And so after those beautiful pictures of Marseille, I want to show you special places around Marseille and in Marseille. So the first is Notre de la Garde. So that's the church you can see on the top of the mountain in the right picture by night with the blue lights. And in the left by day, you can see also one of my friends that is living with me in Marseille. He's Moroccan and he is the same as I am. So born from two foreigners. Then we have Sainte Marie Majeure, also known as La Major. So that's a quite interesting building. Like it's a mix of Christian and Arabic culture. Then you have Les Calanques. So Les Calanques are a kind of national park like you have in America, but much more small, like I don't know, it's really, really small. And they are in the city of Marseille. Like truly, they are in the district of Marseille. So that's quite impressive. So the first picture is La Calanque de Marseille Vert. The second picture is me and some of my friends in the Calanque de Pormiou. I'm wearing the green hat if you were asking yourself. And the last picture is La Calanque d'Anvaux. So that's kind of heaven when you know that there is a big city behind those mountains. Then let's do a quick trip around Marseille and just to see several places to go that are close to the city, as I said, 80 kilometers away. So you have Garde, the hanging village, one of the most beautiful village in France. Then you have the Mount Sainte-Victoire. So this one is well known, especially for its representation by Paul Cézanne in a lot of paintings he made. Then you have the Abbaye Notre-Dame de Sénanque. This abbey, as you said, has a lot of lavande. And finally, the waterfall of Notre-Dame de Silence. So this waterfall is quite particular. It doesn't look like it's in France. And finally, a small reference to America with the Colorado Provençal. In the picture, you don't have a scale to know approximately the size, but it's way smaller than what you can have in America. Then after this long walk, let's talk about food. So please in the chat, tell me what's the name of this pastry. And I see the French people coming. No one knows the name of, yeah. 3 exclamation points. So yeah, that's 3 answers with 3 pain au chocolat. And that's one of the biggest clash in France. And that's the clash between pain au chocolat team and Chocolatine team. This simply made pastry with chocolate and puff pastry and butter is the French bone of contention. So like you can see in this map, you have in the southwest the Chocolatine team. You have to know that I've lived in the southwest in Toulouse for 15 years, so I'm basically saying Chocolatine, and the rest of the world, if you can say so, is telling pain au chocolat. This debate, funny as it may seem, got also the presidents involved in too. And to understand a bit the debate, you have to note that the Chocolatine is a unique name proper to this pastry, and pain au chocolat literally means bread with chocolate. So our argument is that this pastry is made, as I told you, with puff pastry and chocolate, and it's not a French baguette with chocolate. This was also sold in the past, the baguette of chocolate, but nowadays it doesn't exist anymore. And I didn't have the chance to know this. And you have to know that when a Parisian, for example, come in the southwest, or either a person living in Toulouse coming in the north, saying the forbidden word, you may seem like the elephant in the room, or the person that shuts all the mouths of the people chatting around. So that's quite fun, but quite serious at the same time. But anyway, just keep in mind that you've heard my opinion, the opinion of someone saying chocolatine in the middle of Paris. This is the end for my part, and I hope you'll enjoy it.
Thank you so much. If anyone is hungry after that, I am. On a chocolat, that's what I call it. And Orly Bakery, I'll put it in the chat later, has some of the best pain au chocolat or chocolatine here in Clermont. Okay, so it is that time. Thank you so much, Victor. That was an incredible presentation, and what beauty, right? All right, it is that time for travel trivia. All right, I'm your travel trivia host, Shaylee. So if you have not played with us before, I feel a lot of you have, you are going to go to a different platform, a laptop, a phone, and you are going to type in kahoot.it into a browser. We'll put this in the chat box as well. And once you get to kahoot.it, you're going to type in this game pin 707-1716, 707-1716. Then you're going to type your name in after. So remember, trivia cannot, the answers do not go in the chat box. You must play on this platform. You will see on your phone screen, your computer screen, the color. When the question comes up, you're going to select the right answer correlated to the color that you see on your phone. Our first place winner gets gift cards, and you can only win once a quarter, and I do have the list. So I'll give it a few seconds before we get started. Trivia is also to test your knowledge about the country and learn some more as well. All right, we're gonna give it a few more seconds. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Don't worry, we play every single Friday. All right, here we go to France. Question number 1. Which one of these landmarks is not located in Paris? Which one of these landmarks is not located in Paris? The Eiffel Tower, Notre Dame, Sacré-Cœur, or the Vatican? Which one is not located in Paris? Remember, we start off a little easy in our trivia. You have 5 more seconds. Remember, the color on the screen and my computer's the answer. You guys got it. The Vatican is located in Italy. All right, Eric, you are up. Question number 2. What is the name of the famous palace on the outskirts of Paris where French monarchs once lived? What is the name of the famous palace on the outskirts of Paris where French monarchs lived? The Grand Trianon, the Chambord, Versailles, or Tuileries? What is the name of the famous palace? I have a few more. Oh, you guys nailed it. It is Louis XIV through 16th have lived there. This palace was model of what a royal residence should be. There is a lot of gold in this chateau, and I have been there. It is stunning. You do wait in line for a long time. All right, true or false? The Mona Lisa painting is located in the Paris Museum of Art. Is that true or false? The Mona Lisa painting is located in the Paris Museum of Art. True or false? You guys nailed it. You guys are so good. It is false. The famous Leonardo da Vinci painting is in the Louvre. And did you know the Louvre was the most visited museum in the world? In 2019, 10 million people visited the Louvre, and I was one of them. All right, question number 4. How many countries does France share land borders with? How many countries does France share land borders with? 4, 6, 8, or 5? Take a wild guess. Borders a lot of countries. There's your hint. A few more seconds. The answer is 8. Only 5 of you got that. They include Belgium, Italy, Spain, and a few more. All right, Eric, you are in the lead. Question number 5. What is the Eiffel Tower referred to as? A high monument, the Iron Lady, La Tower, or the Eiffel Mountain? In my background, I went to the very top. It's incredible. All right, what does it refer to as? What's another name for the Eiffel Tower? Oh, 15 of you got it. It is the Iron Lady. Is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It is over 1,000 tall. It was built in 2 years by Gustave Eiffel, and his collaborators. All right, Caroline, you are in the lead. Question number 6. True or false? Victor said this. The croissant was invented in France. Is that true or is that false? And if you were listening, he said it at the beginning of his presentation. Was it invented in France? A few more seconds. Oh, you guys are so smart. It was invented in Austria. The pastry actually began in Vienna in the 13th century. Caroline, you are on fire. Question number 7. Let's get food in here. Name the popular French dish. Is it the Cubano, croque monsieur, croque madame, or ham and cheese? What is this popular French dish called? A few more seconds. Who's hungry? Oh, you guys got it. Croque monsieur. So it's grilled sandwich with ham and cheese. The croque madame is the more heavy version with the egg. All right, 2 more questions. 3 more. Which of these foods is truly French? Which of these foods is really French? The baguette, the quiche, cassoulet, or French toast? Which one is truly French? It's a trick question. And I would think all of you would think what I thought. All of them, right? It's only cassoulet. It's a rich, slow-cooked casserole containing meat, pork skin, and white beans. Yes, I was in shock as well. All right, Caroline, you're still in the lead. 2 more questions. How many pounds of cheese do French eat per year? According to our Google stats, Victor and Brune, you may know. How many pounds of cheese? Do they eat 45 pounds, 28 pounds, 19, or 52 pounds of cheese? The French do love their cheese. How many pounds? That's 45 pounds of cheese. My goodness. They have the pressed, the soft, and the blue cheeses. That's their family of cheese. So, and the average French citizen eats 500 snails per year. I tried escargot. All right. France has won the most Nobel Prizes for what category? Mathematics, science, literature, or excellent pastries? That would be my vote, right? Oh, you guys are so smart. It is literature. Way to go, everyone. Thank you so much for playing. 3rd place, Elizabeth. Great job. 2nd place, Eric. Awesome job. And our 1st place winner is, Farah Kiko. Great job. So please send me a private chat. I will be mailing you some gift cards. Congratulations, guys. Hope you learn more about France, and it is my pleasure to turn it over to our next cultural ambassador, Ava. Take it away.
Hi, guys. I'm going to share my screen, if I find it. Oops, sorry, it's not the one. Okay, can you see that properly? So I'm going to talk about a region that is not very far from what was talking about Victor previously. So, bienvenue sur la Riviera. Riviera is well, we'll see. It's one of the most sunniest regions in France. It's also where the climate is so similar to California, and it's a very nice place to live. So it's located here between Italy and Cannes. It's the major city is called Nice. So you can see that Marseille is not so far from Nice. And we have, of course, the sea, the Mediterranean Sea. It's very different from what you can experience here in California. There is usually the sea is super flat. It's like a lake. Unless you have a lot of wind and then it gets crazy and rough and then you have huge waves. But most of the time it's like a lake. So the water is transparent. It's pretty warm during summer, so it's really cool. You have the sea, you have the sun, which makes this place very nice to live. But you also have the mountains, which is really cool because like in April and May, you can go skiing during the day and then at night you can go for a swim. So it's really cool to do that during the same day. The mountains are the Alps. so they can get pretty high. We get snow in winter quite a lot. And you also have a lot of agriculture there, so it's really cool. You can have like farm products, cheese, and also vegetables and fruits. And one very old tradition from this region is the cultivation of flowers. And you may know that there is a strong expertise in perfume in this area. And that's because they were growing a lot of flowers. So they were making perfumes out of it, and they were selling it. And there is also a lot of citrus trees, oranges, citrus, and different species. So from these traditional events, they were celebrating the arrival of spring most of the time with Carnival. So Carnival is now a touristic affair, but it used to be something very popular. And it's pretty nice for kids though, because when they go to school, they go to Carnival every day during a couple of weeks during the year. And so there is a theme each year. A couple of years ago, it was, I think it was like people that are making clothes. So here you have a Karl Lagerfeld baby. And yeah, I mean, we have like a king, and every year it gets to a parade, and then it gets on fire at the end of the carnival, where the king is fired. And the nice things from the carnival is the flowers. There is a flower parade, which is really nice. And that's some pictures. So they made up animals or different things out of flowers. So it's a lot of work. It takes them like almost a year to prepare that. But it's really nice to see. And then there are flowers on the boats, and they're making some wars, like flower wars. So it's kind of fun to see. And close by Nice, there is this other carnival festival, La Fête des Citrons. It's like a citrus party. So they make out of oranges and citrus different sculptures, and that can be really amazing, really, really amazing. And again, I mean, it takes them a long time to prepare that. So this happens every year in February when the spring is coming back. It's really to celebrate the new year and the arrival of the sun, and the agriculture is like starting over, and so they make lots of fun out of it. And of course, everything in France ends up with food. So we usually get these oreillettes and bugne, which are sort of dove, fried dove, sweet, very sweet. And I really love it. It's really good. And this is a video, so I don't know if I have time. I would just wanted to show you Here you go.
Thank you, Eva. That was amazing. And Eva, I love the video. We didn't hear the sound, but I'm telling you, that is really, I think it's worth going. I'm just pining for France right now, especially to eat the food. So thank you very much for sharing that, Eva. That was awesome. Now, Suzanne, s'il vous plaît.
Oh, it's not coming on. Hang on. All right, so my presentation is called France, France. From north to south, France will beguile you and make you fall in love with her. This will be une visite éclair. Come see why I love this country, with very quick stops in Juan-les-Pins, Cannes, Grasse, Paris, Rouen, Bordeaux, and Biarritz. And I'll try to fit in a couple of comments about driving in France and food and wine. I started off my adventure in France in Juan-les-Pins, Côte d'Azur. I moved there in 1974 for 6 months. It's located in the southeast of France on the Côte d'Azur. It's nestled between Nice and Cannes. And Juan-les-Pins is famous for its annual jazz festival. Some of the major jazz artists have played there. It's known as Jazz à Juan. Next over to Cannes, which is sister city to Beverly Hills. We rang in the new year there in 2018. Amazing the difference in population between off-season when it's about 80,000 to 150,000 over winter break, and then up to a summer high of over 300,000. My favorite restaurant, it's hidden a little bit, see if I can move that down, is La Bouette de Grand-Mère. Please take note if you get there to Cannes, go there, it's absolutely fabulous. And of course, it is famous for the Cannes Film Festival, usually run in May, but this year it will run from July 6th to the 17th, but you must have an invitation. Next up to Grasse, with over 2,000 kinds of scents. It has a population of about 50,000, and France, and oh my gosh, there we go, produces 2/3 of France's natural aromas for perfume and food flavorings. I moved up to Paris after the Côte d'Azur in 1974, and I've been back over a dozen times. France's biggest and best known city with 2.5 million people, Paris is the center of fashion, finance, government, commerce, and the arts. Thomas Jefferson said, "A walk about Paris will provide lessons in history, beauty, and in the point of life." Getting around Paris is easy. Paris is divided into 20 arrondissements or districts. I lived a year in the 16th arrondissement near the Bois de Boulogne with beautiful 19th century buildings, large avenues, museums, and various parks. You could think of the 16th arrondissement a little like the city's La Jolla. And of course, no car is needed in Paris. The metro will get you everywhere. There are about 5 million people per day who use the metro, and it's made up of over 400 stations. The Paris metro is ranked the best public transportation system in the entire world. In addition, Paris has 6 major train stations which connect Paris with all of Europe. A few fun facts. There is a Statue of Liberty in Paris, which is a 1/8 scale replica of its American sister, and it was donated by the Americans. France's famed baguettes were first made in 1839 by Viennois, Auguste Zang, who brought Viennese steam oven baking to Paris. There are, of course, lots of amazing famous landmarks, but don't forget the many beautiful parks. My favorite park is the Jardin de Luxembourg. And of course, in my opinion, the sidewalk cafes are the soul of Paris. One of the most popular is Les Deux Magots in the 6e arrondissement. Paris at night, so many offerings. But if you are at all into jazz and swing, there is one place you must not miss. It's called Le Caveau de la Huchette, and it is where the best jazz, it's an underground cave. It's amazing, and scenes from La La Land were filmed there. North to Rouen, which has a long and storied history. It's the capital of Normandy with a population of 115,000. It was one of the most prosperous cities in medieval Europe. And it's renowned that Joan of Arc was burned alive here in 1431. There are lots of great museums and botanic gardens, but if you get a chance to go at Christmas time, there's a fabulous Christmas market and enjoy the special vin chaud or hot wine. Their cathedral is amazing. It's built and rebuilt over 800 years. The first basilica was put up in 395. There are 3 towers, each with a different architectural style. Glass windows that date back to the 13th century. And you may not know, but in 1796, during the revolution, the government turned it into a temple of reason. And then in 1905, the French government granted the Catholic Church exclusive use. Over to Bordeaux, the wine capital of the world, with a population of about 260,000. It's located in the southwest of France. There are more than 14,000 wine producers around Bordeaux. It is the home of the world famous Vin Expo. And after Paris, it has the most monuments. Thomas Jefferson visited in 1787 and fell in love. He helped to develop the first wine exports to the USA. And now, of course, the TGV, the very fast train, runs from Paris to Bordeaux in just 2 hours. And in Bordeaux is the brand new Cité de Vin, which opened in 2016, was built with $100 million. It is a cultural site dedicated to oenology, which means wine, with exhibitions, interactive experiences, lots of great things. We spent a couple of days exploring this place. Its wine bar has wines from over 70 countries, and I recommend if you go there that you participate in their wine pairing workshop. And then over to our last stop, Biarritz, which is Basque country in southwestern France. It has spectacular beaches, surfing, seafood, and spas. This is another one where the population really changes from off-season to summer. In off-season, it's about 25,000, which is, it was very quiet when we were there, and it doubles over summer. When we were there, it was quite cold, about 42 degrees, and I was amazed to see lots and lots of people swimming and surfing in that cold. And I give you my favorite pick for a restaurant. It's Chez Albert on the dock of the Fisherman's Port. A couple of notes about driving in France. I drove back and forth from the north to the south, east and west. Beware and prepare for the rond-point. They can be scary. There's a few ideas there about what best to do. And I will note that, in fact, they're so scary that in Paris, extra insurance is offered if you plan to drive in the Arc de Triomphe rond-point. Another note, speed cameras. There are well over 2,000 stationary speed cameras on France's road and motorways. So beware. We unfortunately found this out the hard way, driving across France, north to south, a few years ago. We came home to several tickets. And of course, we all end up with French food and wine. There is amazing variety from region to region. Seek out local restaurants off the tourist track. French food, stay a little longer to enjoy the savory crêpes, escargot, canard, fromage, and pâtisserie. Ooh la la, you will need a diet when you return home. Please be sure to try bœuf bourguignon, bouillabaisse, cassoulet, baguette au fromage, et une religieuse au chocolat. and wine. Of course, there's tons of great expensive French wine, but you can go to any boutique, any shop, and pick up a really great inexpensive wine for just $4 or $5. Julia Child said, I came to the conclusion that I must really be French, only no one has ever informed me of this fact. I love the people, the food, the lay of the land, the civilized atmosphere, and the generous pace of life. Julia, I couldn't agree more. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, Suzanne. Très bien. Et maintenant, Brune Richard. Take it away.
Yeah, I've got to get mine down. I'm sorry. Hold on.
That's okay.
I think I will just go out of that one.
Just stop sharing.
Yep.
Does anyone can see? Everyone can see?
Perfect.
Okay, so I'm just going to present very quickly on Fête de la Musique, which is also known as Music Day, I think in English, which is a very famous French celebration and one of the French cultural specificities that we love a lot. So the Fête de la Musique takes place every year on June 21 because it corresponds to the summer solstice, which is the day, the first day of summer and also like the longest day in the year. But it can also like vary depending on the cities you're like having the party in because it tried to occur like on the weekends. So originally, this music day was launched in France in 1982 at the initiative of Jacques Lang, who was at the time Minister of Culture, and Maurice Fleuret, the Director of Music and Dance within the same ministry. The principle of the Fête de la Musique is very simple. It's just like to have fun together, promote music by holding concert and musical event dedicated to amateur musicians, but there is also like a professional concert at the time. Basically, it's the day where everyone goes in the street and celebrate together the beginning of summer with some music. So all styles of music are represented. It can be rock music, rap, blues, jazz, electro, metal, classic, also like variety and French song as David played in the beginning. And there are more than 18,000 free concerts featuring music of every genre. Everything is basically free because people are playing on the streets or in bar and restaurants. So you just walk around in your city and go from like small gathering to small gathering and concert. And it's also an occasion to meet new people and to be exposed to very different type of music you wouldn't like hear by yourself. In English, the festival often use the slogan "Make Music," which is like a French translation that is kind of a wordplay because it's Fête de la Musique, fête being the verb make, but it's also like similar to fête, which is like the party name. So Fête de la Musique, Fête de la Musique. This event was originally made in France, but it has become very well known and international. So this concept was taken up in 1985 on the occasion of the European Year of Music. And I'm not sure it really exists in the US, but in Europe, it's very common to find other like countries, namely like Germany or Spain or Italy, that also celebrate the Fête de la Musique. And this is, as I said, a day of sharing and freedom. And now I think in New York, there might be like the Fête de la Musique right now, like in June. But yeah, it has become much more democratized in the world. So each year you have like different poster or annonces. Every city in France kind of produce its own Fête de la Musique. And it can be sometimes a big event in Paris on like a few days, but like the real day is June 21. And its organization is taken in charge by many, many actors of the cities. It can be all, either governmental initiative or by department, cities, a lot of association, music fair, and just music band. And basically everyone who wants to play music and have fun can like organize small event on their own. So there's a lot of call for application to encourage amateur groups to participate, to become like non-industry or just like to share their pleasure for music. And professional concerts also organized, some of which are broadcasted on television during special evenings. But I would really recommend not to like stick to your TV and go on the street because the mood and the atmosphere is just amazing. So as I said, the festival aimed to bring people from all backgrounds and sections of society together. Music is a way of creating bond between people. France is a very social country, and as you may know, people are used to go like to the bars on a day of the weeks and just to socialize on the streets on multiple events. And the Fête de la Musique is really a unique occasion to assist to free and open-air concerts in temporary venues to all street performance, and there are like so much possibilities to explore, to discover, to meet people. Other would prefer stages in public square, and or like just to go to the bar and restaurant with your friends as usual, but with like some bands playing nearby, and everyone is like called to participate and enjoy this moment. So I would just like finish my presentation by maybe talking about some personal experience regarding the Fête de la Musique. Usually when you're like a young people like in France, the Fête de la Musique is really something you're waiting for, because as it is in the end of June, it's usually as a high schooler the end of the class too. So it's really like beginning of summer, like the weather is fine basically everywhere. I'm from Lyon, so the weather is really good in June, and I'm sure like Victor in the south, it should be the same. And after like a long day of class or whatever, you're very happy to just go out with your friends, go to the bars as usual, but also like go in the street, maybe meet different people, different young people. You can also connect with like other group. Usually you just go out with your friend, like you have like a rendezvous or like a point. You also go and see like play people you know that are like musicians, either like relatives or like your favorite band, or just like young people just like you that are like trying to make music. And it's really a very good experience just to gather, walk around. And like in the same night, you can like go to like multiple places in your cities. You can also just like meet some random groups and like go with them and meet other like random people and stuff. So I feel like it's a really important event that we're obviously like missing since the COVID pandemic. So obviously the Fête de la Musique was canceled last year, and I'm not even sure it's going to take place this year in France neither. But I remember the Fête de la Musique as times where you just go out and enjoy and have fun. And I also remember one time when I was in Lyon, so we were like in the street, like completely crowded, just like shouting, dancing, taking drinks, like with the music. There was also a lot of like stands with street food, so you can just like basically buy whenever like you need to. And it starts being super rainy, but it was like a summer rain. But since it was super hot, everyone was just dancing, and we just end up like completely wet, dancing on open air with like the rain, and it was a very fun moment. Like usually it's the best memories. And yeah, the Fête de la Musique is a very important event that is deeply linked to French love for arts, music, gathering and stuff. And I hope it's gonna be soon. We're gonna all be able to go back to this event. Thank you very much. Yes.
You're on mute, Debbie.
Okay, well, I know what I just said, but sorry about that. Thank you so much, Brune. That was wonderful. I love what you shared. I think we all need to go have a street party there. It sounds like a wonderful time for everyone, and everybody coming together over music. So thank you very much for sharing that. And now, how about our best ever global sportscaster? Andreas, take it away.
Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, so let me just pull up the slides. So yeah, this week I'll be talking about some of the popular sports in France. I learned a lot this week. I mean, I kind of know, you kind of have an idea of what the popular sports are in France, but I just knew it at a surface level. But getting to know some of these sports was interesting. And I also remember some at the end that I'll talk about. So first, we have cycling. Of course, here in America, everyone knows the Tour de France. So it is one of the largest road races in the world. It is one of the three grand tours, which is kind of like analogous to the main road races in the world. So one of those three, but it's of course, one of the more popular and one of the most prestigious. It takes place in July and it lasts a total of 3 weeks. And in its 110-year history, the Tour de France has been won by French members 36 times. So that's what you can see here. The Tour de France winners, they are third all time behind Belgium and Italy, which is pretty impressive. And then, oh, another thing I didn't know is the Tour de France actually attracts a total of 12 million people over the 3 weeks to go watch the race. 12 million people. That's insane. That's like more than all the NFL games in like the whole season, which is crazy. Oh, and then the race covers a total of 3,500 kilometers or 2,200 miles. So I probably won't bike that much in my entire life. So these guys are doing it every year, which is crazy. Oh, and only 4 cyclists have won the Tour de France 4 times, and 2 of those are French. That's pretty cool. So next we have tennis. Here, as you can see on the left, if you didn't recognize her, that's Shaylee. Shaylee, she's here at the French Open, aka, I'm not gonna say it. I'll say it for maybe Victor or Bruin to say it. But yeah, I'm working on my French. I have one on the next slide. Don't worry. 2 slides. So yeah, it's the French Open here. Of course, it is one of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments. Is the second one of the 2. And the interesting thing about the French Open is that it is the only major tournament on clay. So as a result of being on clay, as you can see the orange here, I need to mention it, but Rafael Nadal especially likes playing on clay. And as a result of that, he has won the French Open a record of 13 times. Yep, 13 times, which is insane. I think he won like 5 years in a row, but before that he won like 3 years in a row. Before that he won like another 3 years. It's crazy. But anyway, also in 2019, they did have the tournament in 2020, and they did have spectators. However, they reduced it. But in 2019, before the pandemic, a total of 500,000 people went to go watch the tournament. 500 and something thousand went to go watch the tournament in 2019 over the course of the tournament. Okay, then next. Oh, is soccer or football? Football. As everyone here should know, France did win the 2018 World Cup. So sorry for any Croatia fans or Brazil fans or any other country, I guess, because France won the whole thing. But I learned that world champions in French is champions du monde. So they are champions du monde. So they won the 2018 World Cup, and then the 2 years before, they actually came runners up in the Euro Cup. And the Euro Cup is the best teams in Europe, which is pretty much the best teams in the world besides Argentina. So yeah. Oh, and also the premier French club is here listed on the right, who is PSG. And PSG has some of the best players in the world, including Neymar, who doesn't play for the French national team. However, Mbappe plays for the French national team. I also forgot to mention some other famous footballers, which are Paul Pogba, Antoine Griezmann, Samuel Umtiti plays for FC Barcelona. There's just so many to name. Karim Benzema. There's just so many. So if you know football, you definitely heard, or there's going to be a lot of familiar faces on the French national team. And then here in the bottom right, we have Wendy Renard, who is like the face of the French, the female French football. So she's actually like the most storied French female footballer in history, because she plays for the football club Lyon in the women's league. And she, it's hard to miss her when you're watching the Women's World Cup because of her hair. But she's so tall. Also, she's so tall. But she's also a unique player because she's a defender, but she also scores goals. So she has led Lyon to a total of 14 league titles. So I don't know how many years she's been playing, but I'd say maybe 18 years max. So she's won 14 out of 18. That's pretty crazy. So she doesn't know how to lose, apparently. She doesn't know how to lose. But, and a total of 7 Euro Cup wins, which is crazy. So if you know female French footballers, you definitely know Wendy. And then Oh yeah, so here's the video kind of detailing the French World Cup, or the World Cup in 2018, the final against Croatia. So here the title says Champions du Monde. I'm gonna keep saying that for like a while because I learned it today. But yeah. I'm just gonna fast forward to some of the celebrations. Oh, here's Mbappe. If you don't know Mbappe. Oh, I forgot to mention Mbappe. He scored a goal in the, or they'll say it, but he's the first teenager to score a goal in the French final. He was 19 years old when he was playing in the French final. 19. That's crazy. Never mind.
On s'est dit, en arrivant ici, on s'est dit, ça va être la plus belle après-midi de notre vie depuis 20 ans en fait. Et bah, les gars, ils ont fait le travail. Et on est champion du monde. Maintenant, ça va profiter à droite, à gauche. Et voilà, on va kiffer.
Ah ouais, le... Ah oui.
Okay, yeah. And then before we end, I do want to give a quick shout out to basketball. I know in case there's any basketball fans, there's a lot of French NBA players such as Rudy Gobert, Tony Parker, who won 4 NBA titles with the San Antonio Spurs, Boris Diaw, who also won championships with the Spurs, Evan Fournier, who plays for the Boston Celtics, so keep an eye out for in the playoffs. Rudy Gobert is hard to miss because he's 7'2" and his arms are like so long, so you'll see him. Also the 24 hours at Le Mans is a very famous sports car race. They went into a lot of detail in the race in the movie Ford versus Ferrari. So you should watch that. They're trying to win the race but yeah, it's a really cool race. Thanks so much. I'll pass it back to Debbie.
Thank you so much, Andreas. I love how you share everything with us and you get excited. I mean, I'm sorry. I got to go to France as soon as possible. Oh, so listen, that's about wraps it up. I want to show you my slides for just another second because I want to tell you something. For iCafé, you know, we always travel to international countries, but this summer, I'm switching it up a bit, and we're going to go iCafé, see the USA. So I bring this up because I'm always looking for cultural ambassadors. I like people who can tell their stories just like our incredible ambassadors did today. Thank you, Victor and Ava and Suzanne and Brune. Amazing job. This is how we get to know a place. So if anybody has been to a place in the United States, lives there, or has a story to tell, or maybe some good food from there, send me a private message in the chat and let me know, because I'm starting to get ideas for where we're going to travel this summer. I'm going to mention this every Friday at iCafé. We have 3 more left after this for this winter quarter. Our last one is June 4th, but I want you guys to get psyched up and start thinking about who wants to be an ambassador for the USA. Cool thing coming up. Here is a webinar, The Impact of Anti-Asian Bias on International Students, Wednesday, May 26th. Where do you check out these international kind of events going on? iEvents.ucsd.edu. So check this out if you're interested. Very relevant. I said this last time, I'm going to say it again. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. I appreciate it because I've gotten a little crazy this last year. So be aware that CAPS has services on campus, whether it's groups or Triton's Flourish, Let's Talk, daily drop-in stuff. Check out caps.ucsd.edu. They have a whole events calendar that you can check out. So take advantage of it. If you're like me, I could have used this year. Where are we going next week? Saudi Arabia. Talk about going from France to Saudi Arabia. They're both so exotic and cool. So please join us for Saudi Arabia. You sign up for all of these at iCafé.ucsd.edu. Saudi Arabia, Philippines, Malaysia. And then where are we going this summer? All across the USA. So send me a chat. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you joining us. Please, let's meet in France. We'll have pain au chocolat. Au revoir, everybody. Au revoir.